Sadie Sink as Jean Grey. The Punisher teaming up with Peter Parker, a completely unhinged Spider-Man mutating into a literal monster to fight a savage, out-of-control Hulk. If the latest massive 4chan plot leak for Spider-Man Brand New Day is true, Marvel isn't just making a street-level movie. They're dropping the darkest, most brutal Spider-Man story we have ever seen on screen. Consider this your massive spoiler warning. We are breaking down the entire alleged leaked plot from start to finish. If you don't want the movie ruined, click away now. But if you want to know how Peter Parker goes absolutely Predator mode, let's get into it. The movie allegedly opens with an absolute bloodbath. We get a montage of Spider-Man tearing through New York's criminal underworld. He's taking down supervillains like Scorpion, Boomerang, Tarantula, and Ramrod, who are all working for the mob boss Tombstone. But Peter isn't throwing out friendly neighborhood quips anymore. He is broken. He cannot get over the fact that MJ and Ned have forgotten him. To cope with his miserable life, he throws himself into fighting crime 24/7, and the stress is literally changing his DNA. His powers are beginning to mutate. This all comes to a head when a Department of Damage Control, or DODC convoy, is attacked. But it's not a normal attack. Scorpion's body is being mind-controlled, or body-jacked. Spider-Man steps in to stop it, but something snaps inside him. The leak states Peter goes into a feral predator mode. He beats Scorpion so violently, so brutally, that even the villains are terrified of him. But beating up bad guys doesn't fix a broken heart. Peter visits the old coffee shop he used to hang out at, only to discover something that shatters his world. MJ and Ned are back in New York. They've graduated from MIT. Peter does what any emotionally damaged superhero would do. He stalks them. He crashes Ned and MJ's housewarming party by pretending to be their quirky new neighbor named Maynard. And while he's there, he gets hit with the ultimate gut punch. MJ has a new boyfriend. But here is where it gets crazy. Ned and MJ still remember that Spider-Man saved their lives in the past. They just don't know he's Peter. So Ned, being the tech genius he is, has built a custom spider tracker to find the wall crawler and thank him. Keep this tracker in mind, because it sets up the most mind-blowing post-credits scene in MCU history later in this video. Peter goes home, completely emotionally drained, and collapses. When he wakes up the next day, he is trapped inside a massive web cocoon. When he finally breaks out, his body has changed. He now shoots organic webbing directly from his wrists, and his spider senses have dialed up to terrifying new levels. He is losing his humanity. Desperate, Peter goes to Empire State University to find the only guy who knows a thing or two about mutating into a monster, Bruce Banner. Banner hooks Peter up with a microchip, inspired by the same technology used in his Smart Hulk inhibitor bracelet, just to keep Peter's spider mutation suppressed. But Peter's mutating body is the least of his problems, because the villain pulling the strings in this movie is about to unleash absolute hell, and she's dragging the Punisher right into the middle of it. Let's talk about the villains. The main antagonist is William Metzger, the director of the DODC, played by Trammell Tillman. But the real threat, Sadie Sink playing a mutant we all know and love, Jean Grey. But this isn't the X-Men Jean. This Jean is out for blood. She wants revenge for the death of her sister, and she's using her telepathy to bodyjack people and do her dirty work. Meanwhile, NYPD detective Jean DeWolf tips off Spider-Man that Tombstone has hired the deadly ninja clan, the Hand, to ambush a DODC convoy and break Scorpion. But DeWolf also leaks this intel to someone else, Frank Castle. The Punisher! A massive three-way war erupts. Punisher shows up to execute Scorpion. Spider-Man shows up to fight the Hand, and Jean Grey bodyjacks an innocent old lady, driving a stolen armored car straight into the convoy. Total, absolute chaos. Spidey manages to stop the carnage, but Jean escapes. Because Peter's mind is protected by his spider sense, he is completely immune to Jean's telepathy. Saying this, director Metzger manipulates Spider-Man. He convinces Peter that Jean is just a ruthless, psychotic criminal. But Jean sends Peter a terrifying psychic warning to back off. When Peter refuses, she ups the stakes. She doesn't just threaten Spider-Man, she threatens MJ. Jean's ultimate master plan is revealed. She is going to bodyjack Bruce Banner, unleash the Savage Hulk, and use him to completely level the DODC headquarters. Fearing for MJ's life, Peter does the unthinkable. He forces MJ to come with him and leaves her under the protection of the deadliest man in New York, the Punisher. And in a crazy twist, it's actually MJ who convinces the Punisher to stop killing for a second and go help Spider-Man. This leads to the craziest climax in MCU Spider-Man history. Inside the DODC office, Spider-Man and the Punisher have to fight a Jean Grey-controlled Hulk. During the fight, Jean loses her mental grip on Banner, and the real, uncontrollable, world-breaker Savage Hulk is unleashed. He starts destroying everything. In a desperate final move, Spider-Man uses a confiscated shocker gauntlet to blast the Hulk unconscious, reverting him back to Bruce Banner. But the victory is cut short. Metzger's DODC forces swoop in and capture both Jean and Banner. It is right here that Peter learns the horrifying truth. Metzger is the real monster. He had captured and brutally tortured Jean, which is why she was on this warpath. During the chaos, Spider-Man takes a bullet. Punisher drags a bleeding Spider-Man to an underground hospital run by Claire Temple. In a great nod to the comics, the doctors respect the mask. They operate on Peter without revealing his secret identity. But Peter is dying. To heal faster, he rips out Bruce Banner's inhibitor chip. He fully accepts his spider mutation, letting the beast take over so he can save Jean and Banner. Now fully powered up, Peter needs intel. He tracks down Yelena Belova at a Russian bathhouse. In what sounds like the funniest scene of the movie, Yelena refuses to give him the location of the DODC black site, unless he stands there in front of her wearing nothing but his mask and his underwear. Classic Yelena. Using the Spider Tracker app that Ned built, Peter pinpoints Metzger's secret prison. Spider-Man and the Punisher launch a full-scale, brutal assault on the DODC black site, fighting through waves of the hand ninjas that Metzger hired for protection. They free Banner and Jean. Jean finally has Metzger dead to rights. She is seconds away from executing him, but Peter steps in. He talks her down, saving her from becoming a murderer. Metzger is arrested and faces trial for his twisted crimes. As a thank you, Jean offers Peter the one thing he wants more than anything in the world. Using her telepathy, she offers to go into MJ and Ned's minds and restore all their memories of Peter Parker. Peter looks at them, and he says no. He realizes his life is too dangerous. He chooses to carry the burden alone. Jane leaves to track down more mutants, setting up the MCU X-Men. And the movie ends with Spider-Man and the Punisher swinging off into the night, teaming up to hunt down Tombstone. But do not leave the theater, because the post-credits scene sets up Avengers: Secret Wars. We cut back to Ned's apartment. He is looking at the Spider Tracker app on his computer, but the glowing red dot representing Spider-Man isn't in New York anymore. It zooms out, and out. Spider-Man is no longer on Earth. He has been pulled into the multiverse. If this 4chan leak is real, Marvel is giving us a violent, tragic, and action-packed masterpiece. But what do you think? Do you want to see Tom Holland mutate into a monster? Let me know in the comments down below. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.